Hello everyone. I have these teal curtains that I'm going to hem today. They are really pretty. I love them, but they're a little bit too long. They've been hanging up for quite a while, but they've been catching all of the dust bunnies, so they're getting on my nerves. So I decided today that I'm just going to go ahead and hem them up since I had them off to wash, and then I'll just put them back up and no more dust bunnies being trapped under the curtains. Alright, so I know that I need to hem them up about 9 inches. I don't want to cut these because I don't know if I want to have them long later on. So I just want to put a nice little hem in it. That way I can take it out later if I want to, or I can just leave it in. So anyway, I know I need to take 9 inches up. So I'm going to go through and measure 9 inches all the way down the length of the curtain. And then I'm just going to start placing little pins to hold my spots. All right, now I've got my measuring pins in so that I know where my little ironing is going to go. And I'm just going to fold this using this first pin on the seam here as my guide and just go ahead and line this one up, and I'm going to stick a little pin in this to hold that first area at the 9-inch mark. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Use my little pin there as a guide for my 9 inches. And then throw a little pin in this here. Now, it's not going to put a really good crease in it, but it's going to put enough of a crease in it that's going to help whenever I go to move my pins around and then go to actually sew it. Now that I kind of have my initial crease, you can see it's an okay crease there. I'm going to go ahead and take these pins out from inside of here because I don't want to hem them inside. Now, you can see this is a pretty good chunk of fabric here, the 9 inches. I don't want to have a hem all the way up that high, along with the one across the bottom here. So I'm going to fold this back so that I can make it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to unpin this. Bring it back down here. I don't want to bring it all the way down to the edge because I don't want to risk, once I hem it, having any of that fabric from the fold hanging over. So I'm going to leave myself a little gap here and then pin it back. Make sure I don't have too much hanging over on the sides either. I'm just kind of using that seam, that area, the hem where I pressed it. As my guide to pin this back. So you can see what I mean by having a little bit of an overhang on the underside, because I don't want this part to hang over that part once I hem it together. And I'm just going to work across using that ironed portion as a guide. Now I'm going to go back across this top portion here. Touch it with the iron just a little bit. So that it's a little easier when I go to pin that section as well. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and pin this. Alright, got everything pinned. Now we're ready to hem it up. Let's move that out of the way. Alright, I'm going to start with this top section here. I'm actually going to start on this corner and do that hem there, and then work my way down that way first. So this, you can see this is going to be super thick to work through with my sewing needle here, because it's got all these extra hems in there already. So I'm going to take it really slow and may use my hand crank at some of the times, because I don't want to risk breaking my needle. Take my time and go kind of slow, just because this fabric does slide and I don't want to risk it getting bunched up on the other side. done. So you can see it's not super wide as it would have been, because it would have been way up here had I not folded it over a second time. But you can see it looks pretty good that way. So now all I have to do is tie it off and she'll be ready to hang up. All right, all done. Have fun sewing your own curtains. Have a good day. Bye.